Okay, this is super funny. So it's a beautiful day. We got the door open and we're painting some signage to put out at the street. At first, we were being like a little incognito because we weren't sure about the space location, but I think now everybody's used to it and we can start like flaunting a little bit more that we're here. Anyway, so I have my blank piece of paper and my handy marker, and Aiden helped me do this, so hopefully I can replicate what she did. So there we are. This is K-Pack. And so we thought we could handle maybe no more than 3 strategies. 2 to 3 would be enough. And correct me if anybody feels differently. But right now our hot items seem to be, maybe that should be a circle. I don't know. I'm just trying to vary it. Camps, so your summer camps. And we are targeting Lunenburg with our Shakespeare camp. And we are targeting Mahone Bay because there's nothing there. And also the Mahone Bay Center gave us a great rate on rent, $100 for the whole week. So we can practically charge nothing and just get exposure that way. I think we're charging $50 for a half day for the full week. Just trying to drive people in and get to know us. Liverpool, but again, I wasn't thinking ahead, and I have been in conversation with Liverpool about school, getting involved with their schools, but not day camps. So I think Liverpool will have to probably wait until 2023. But these two can be 2022 because they're already planned, and we'll be advertising for those shortly. So that's the more immediate. Then we have our after school programming. This is huge. So I have tried 3 or 4 different daycares for Sebastian myself, and there's nothing. Everybody's full. There's all this government funding. The government's basically subsidizing daycare, but they don't have the facilities and they definitely don't have the staff. Your early childhood education degree or license takes at least a year, and currently the daycare centers have their minimum wage employees paying their own training costs. If they're trained and they get to a higher level, maybe if they're lucky, they make about $15 an hour. So talking to BES, we are invited back to the school so we can stay in the school. And we're a nonprofit, which after talking to the South Shore Regional School Board, we have an advantage over other after-school recreational activities because the government's going to be looking for outside groups who are nonprofit to help fulfill the need. So I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to be us, and I'm not sure if that's the direction we really want to go in. But at the time, as far as fulfilling after-school arts in Bridgewater, I think we should definitely be the group, and there's a need. So I think we want to help our community as much as we can. So with that, I'm hoping Heidi will come back on board with music. Oops. Make sure my focus is there. Cynthia, I'm meeting with her for coffee this week. She was kind of adamant about, not teaching. But then when I said after school, she kind of re-engaged. I think that's like her wheelhouse. So Cynthia with drama. And then potentially me. I don't know how much I'll be able to handle. I'm hoping maybe Heidi can do 2 days. Cynthia could do 2 days. And then maybe I could just do 1 day if it's even needed. And then I can do dance. I don't know what the best logo for dance is here. Yay! 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 Lady dancing. Yay! Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's level 1 or spiderweb 1, spiderweb 2. And then, of course, we have, I think, what is our main focus right now, which is our ITP and like our in-house dance education or programming that we're doing in-house. And with this, I mean, I think the virtual learning and the sort of partnership with Parkview / our ITP program, you know, for high school credits. Oh, sorry, I should write high school credits. This is like key. Like, I think if we could get like 10 kids involved with that, you know, even if we started with like 5 and then grew it, we could easily run some daytime programming here. So that they're not so depleted at the end of their school day. Like right now they do school, they're all in ITP, they're smart kids. They have full schedules and then they come to dance. So they're done at that point. Like, I feel like since it's so educational and they do exams, it should be for like a letter grade, and they should be able to study during the day, like dance during the day, so that they have time for other things too, like work or sports or whatever else. I'm trying to remember now. So, yeah. So then also I think we need to get into the gym curriculum. Currently, dance is part of phys ed in all South Shore regional schools. And they have their gym teachers teaching it who don't necessarily have any dance background whatsoever. So that's problematic to me. I mean, I think what they have happening, and probably Nikki could tell us more because Olivia's gone through the program, but they just have the kids like make up their own dances and things like that. So I've gone in once or twice, like a long time ago, and done some like guest classes. But I think we really need to target the schools and say, hey, dance is like a legit thing and you need somebody qualified to be teaching it, not just, you know, willy-nilly, you know, turn on some music and let the kids go. I think it needs to be a little bit more structured than that. I mean, we could work on lifts, like, you know, in ballet, we could do some ballet lifts if like some of the, you know, sportier types are thinking they want something more physical. We could still do choreography if they're looking for something more creative, but we need to warm them up properly and give them a, you know, proper sort of foundation in a few different genres. Plus, not to mention the cultural background of dance that they should be learning simultaneously. So I don't think it needs to be a regular offering, but I think each block or each semester that they are offering dance, they should bring us in at least once a semester for those students to have sort of a formal class, and then they can have fun with it. But I think that they should introduce it that way, and then go from there, rather than just kind of making it up. Okay, so yeah, I mean, injuries, all that good stuff. They want to learn how to do it properly. Yeah, so I think that's a proposal. I'm going to give myself an action item here, proposal that I should be sending to the schools, since they love us so much and we've been reaching out to them so often. Yeah, they're going to get sick of us soon. Or not, or maybe they'll be thankful that we're helping them out. And then the last thing is like the pro series. So I was just thinking of a way how we could connect our students to, like we've talked in the past about having professionals train them and, you know, produce shows on them, choreography and that type of thing. And that's how they're learning and that's how they're getting their experience. So it's more of a pre-professional feel. So I'm just thinking that, like, we have Mackenzie who wants to work with us and expressed interest in doing like a TAP youth group or youth company kind of thing. And then Kate, who is a working contemporary dancer, like she just got back from Toronto. She was working for Peggy Baker Dance, and they just did a big gala. And I have the video of her dancing. She's going to be performing at our recital as well, since she's holding the role of artist in residence. But I just think that's going to bring our studio just like above all of the others. Not that we're really trying to run anybody out of town or compete with anybody. I just think that we have something that's really different. And if we're offering students, like much like Halifax Dance, they bring in professionals and they have a youth dance company where they audition and everything for it. And the professional artists set pieces and they create a whole showcase. So with that, I think our recitals would turn into less of recitals and would transfer into more of showcases. So I think the teachers during the week, like the regular teachers during the week, could still work with like the younger or the more beginning students on choreography for those shows. But when they get to the intermediate and advanced level, they might need a little bit more variety and a little bit more of a challenge rather than the same person over and over and over. So Mackenzie, for instance, who's done Tap Dogs, and he's worked with a lot of like really famous tap or respected, I don't want to say famous, I just want to say respected tap artists in the tap community. And Kate, who has a really strong background in contemporary dance, could be those people. I mean, Kate's already offering once a month workshops. Mackenzie has agreed to come down once a month on Sundays and offer like an improv / music theory tap session, because his tap is very improv based versus technical. Like he's a musician first, so it all comes from a jazz background. And then, so I'm thinking he could do an hour of improv, and then he could do an hour of choreo with our more advanced, group of kids. Plus, if somebody wants like an extra lesson, a private lesson, or privately or independently competing, like Miracle, she could work with him while he's here. So it makes sense for him to be here, making the most money for himself in the time that he's here. And same with Kate, like she could do, again, she's very improv based. Her choreography is very improv, so she could do an improv. She does like yawning workshops. She does some really cool things, which are outside of the box that our students would really probably benefit from. And then she could give like an hour choreo session as well. And then that would kind of alleviate the teachers during the week from having to come up with like really intricate choreography. Because right now, if I'm teaching most of the classes, I don't know if I could create like 20 some odd dances. I mean, the littles are relatively easy, it's pretty basic. Talk about strategy, it's pretty strategic. But when they get older and they get more advanced, they really are looking for something that's unique. So that's what I think our 3 focuses should be. Summer camps, after school programming, and ITP/education. My big bubbles, which leaves some extra projects, like we were talking about the Red Chamber. I was talking to Coastal Action about doing some things like this student committee and a few other things that are important, but definitely are kind of extra. So I think with those projects, we should probably talk to the board before we go full steam ahead with anything, make sure it fits into what we're trying to accomplish and doesn't deflect or distract, whatever the right word would be for that, from what I guess our priorities. So I think this is just about prioritizing. So I sent the report. Hopefully this helps. And if anybody thinks we should be looking at something different, also I think Corinne's is going to have a meeting with the student committee and they could have some input as well. That would be great. Okay, thanks.